The suitcase was already in my hand when she quietly turned the lock. The soft click echoed through the hallway, louder than any scream ever could. I had come to say one final goodbye after 8 years of silence, believing there was nothing left to save between us. But when I looked into her tear-filled eyes, I realized I had misunderstood everything. Some goodbyes are not the end of a story. Sometimes they are the beginning of the truth that has been waiting for years to be heard. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, hope, forgiveness, compassion, and the power of second chances, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, leave a thoughtful comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue bringing heartfelt stories that remind us all that love can heal even the deepest wounds. My name is Jacob Carter, and this happened in the quiet town of Franklin, Tennessee. 8 years earlier, I had walked away from the woman I believed I would spend the rest of my life with. Her name was Rachel Brooks. We were never married, but we had built dreams together, planned a home together, and imagined growing old on the same front porch. Then, life happened. My father became seriously ill in another state. My career collapsed under financial pressure, and everything that once felt stable disappeared almost overnight. Instead of asking for help, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I convinced myself that Rachel deserved someone stronger, someone who wasn't carrying the weight of a broken family and endless debt. Without explaining the truth, I left. For years, I buried myself in work in Colorado. I rebuilt my career as a construction manager, paid every debt, cared for my father until his peaceful passing, and slowly became someone I could finally respect again. Yet every birthday, every Christmas morning, every quiet Sunday afternoon carried the same empty feeling. Success never filled the place Rachel had left in my heart. One spring afternoon, while cleaning my father's old desk, I discovered a small envelope tucked inside one of his journals. It had never been opened. My name was written on the front in Rachel's handwriting. Inside was a letter she had mailed years ago after I disappeared. She had written that she never cared about the money, the struggles, or the uncertainty. She simply wanted to carry the burden beside me. Reading those words broke something inside me that pride had kept frozen for nearly a decade. I knew I couldn't change the past, but I couldn't spend the rest of my life wondering what might have happened if I had simply been honest. So I drove across 4 states back to Tennessee with nothing but a suitcase and an apology that felt far too small. Rachel's house looked almost exactly the same. The flower garden was larger now, and the white porch swing we once painted together had faded beneath years of sunshine. When she opened the front door, time seemed to stop. She looked older, wiser, and stronger, but her gentle eyes were exactly as I remembered them. I apologized before she could say anything. I admitted every fear, every selfish decision, every regret that had haunted me. I told her I wasn't asking for another chance. I had only come to say goodbye properly, because she deserved that much. Then I picked up my suitcase. That was when she locked the door. She leaned against it, covering her face as tears rolled down her cheeks. For several long moments, neither of us spoke. Silence became the language of 2 hearts, carrying years of unfinished grief. When Rachel finally gathered herself, she explained that after I disappeared, she had spent years believing she wasn't enough. Every unanswered phone call and returned letter convinced her she had somehow failed. Eventually, she stopped searching, but she never stopped wondering why. She never married because, as she quietly admitted, part of her heart had remained waiting for an explanation that never came. Hearing those words was almost unbearable. I realized that the pain I thought I had protected her from was exactly the pain I had created. The afternoon stretched into evening as sunlight slowly disappeared from the windows. We walked through every memory we had avoided for years. We laughed about our first terrible attempt at baking bread. We remembered getting caught in a thunderstorm after a county fair. We cried over the moments we could never get back. For the first time, there were no secrets standing between us. Rachel eventually led me to a small guest room. She told me she wasn't ready to make promises, but she also wasn't ready to watch me disappear again. Healing, she said, deserved patience. Trust deserved time. The following months became the hardest and most beautiful season of our lives. We attended church together, volunteered at the local food pantry, and learned how forgiveness isn't a single decision, but a daily choice. Some days old wounds reopened. Other days hope quietly replaced another piece of the past. Neither of us pretended that love erased pain. Instead, love gave us the courage to face it honestly. One crisp autumn evening, we returned to the old porch swing, where our dreams had once begun. This time, there were no grand speeches or perfect promises. There was simply gratitude. Gratitude that Grace had found two imperfect people willing to begin again. Before we reach the end of this story, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment, telling us whether you believe people truly deserve a second chance after making a life-changing mistake. Your thoughts may encourage someone reading through the comments today. A year later, friends and family gathered beneath golden maple trees as Rachel and I finally exchanged our vows. It wasn't a celebration of perfect people. It was a celebration of honesty, forgiveness, and the incredible strength of hearts that refused to give up on hope. Looking around at the smiling faces, I understood something I wish I had known years before. Love doesn't ask us to carry every burden alone. It asks us to trust someone enough to help carry it with us. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that forgiveness can open doors we thought were closed forever, please consider liking this video, sharing it with someone who may need hope today, and subscribing for more inspiring stories. Thank you for spending these moments with us, and may you never underestimate the life-changing power of one honest conversation, one open heart, and one unforgettable second chance.